Hi.
Hello there.
How are you doing?
I am okay.
That's okay. Oh, well, that's good.
Mm,
Okay's good.
mm.
So it's the finale of season finale of Silo episode
Silo,
season
episode
one.
10.
Yeah, so called Outside, I think it
That's
was
right.
called. And yeah, I watched this again this morning and watched it a couple of days ago. So it kind of covered all the stuff we were talking about that we wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Sort of, mostly. I mean, there's
Yeah, I was kind of, I wanted a bit more.
a bit more.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to remember where this sort of comes up in the book. I think the book, one of the first book might end sort of at this moment. I'm not quite sure. But there's
Yeah,
still
I
like,
thought there was a bit of a rebellion going on as well, though, just before the end.
yeah, I think that's definitely happening. You know, in the silo, there's lots of signs
Yeah.
that that's going to happen. So we start off this episode. Um, and it continues on from the last one. So she's there with her sort of crim friend, and there's little hacker guy, young hacker
Kennedy and
guy.
the redhead fella, yeah.
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 So and they're looking at the the video. So they're all a bit taken aback by the video that's on the hard drive. So basically, they're like, "Well, we need to share this."
Yeah.
So they hatch a plan, which is that they're going to hack. They're going to hack into the screens.
Yeah.
So basically, they say, "Okay, well, we're going to do that." And the hacker guy's like, "Well, there's like boosters every sort of 30 levels or something.
Yeah.
So
Boost
presumably
signals,
booster
yeah.
signals, something like that." So they go, "Okay, we'll go that." At this time, like Judicial are after them the whole time, chasing them. So they people in the control room are like looking for
They're
them.
like the
And
Keystone Cops, aren't they?
yeah, they're rubbish, aren't they? Yeah, they've ruined everything. They're just rubbish. So Juliet, being all mechanical and shit, is like, well, we use the garbage chutes, trash chutes. So everyone's just chucking their rubbish down these huge like chutes. So yeah, which luckily have ladders in them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go down to this level and do a bit of old hacking.
Yeah.
Which didn't seem that difficult.
Well, it was like basically plugging it in and then finding the file, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It wasn't hard.
and pressing play. But then it didn't really say where that signal went to, because we only saw it in the next thing you see is they're in the control room and all the sort of like plebs in the control room and like looking at the screen, which is the outside view, but it's all green and lush and stuff like that. And the mayor sort of loses his shit and says, "Everyone, close your eyes and turn around."
Before that, one of the techs said that she's linking the screens.
Yeah.
So hopefully the whole of the silo. But I don't know if they've got 3 booster signals. Maybe it only got to that.
I don't know, because it wasn't explained.
Third of a level or whatever.
Because like no one else seemed to react. Like there wasn't people out in the street going, "Did you just see that thing that just came up on the screen?" But then I suppose, what screens is it? Is it just the screens in the cafeteria?
Well, I think that. Well, I don't know if everybody's got a screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure
At
if
home.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if everyone's got a computer at home or they just have it in the workplace.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, if you're a farmer or some shit, you're not going to be looking at your screen.
So, yeah, so it's kind of, I mean, like if everyone was sitting at home watching TV and then all of a sudden that came on, it might be different.
Yeah.
But like, it didn't happen. Doesn't look like they have TV.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think they have TV. Yeah, maybe they all have. Maybe. I mean, the best scenario would be that everybody's got a computer at home and it's all, they all saw it. Or, even if only like half of them saw it, then they would, they'd definitely talk about it.
Absolutely, yeah. So it didn't really say. I mean, you would have thought a couple of people would have been up in the cafeteria and they would have seen it, and like the word would have got around. I mean, we already had one woman in an earlier episode, didn't she? And who saw the screen briefly flash up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
how did that happen? It was something. Oh, it was when the power went off. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I mean, there must be rumblings.
Yeah.
But they didn't address it at all.
not only
And
that, but
so
the mayor and, you know, the sheriff, Holston died, and they were really well liked.
yeah,
And, you know, they're dying all together, and it was, um, he went out. They'd want to know why he wanted to do that. Although you could explain it that his wife went out, but then why did
yeah.
she go out? And then,
I
um,
think yeah, it's
I know obviously the mayor was poisoned, so that's
yeah.
obviously murder.
But I think yeah, that's one thing they haven't sort of addressed. It's like the feeling of the masses, the great unwashed.
Yeah,
You know, like you know, you would think they'd be talking about it, but like and I'm sure they are. But what they could have done in this one is reveal that actually everyone's been talking about it for ages, but
yeah.
been keeping it so quiet because they know
Well,
judicial
I've
are
got
on
a
the
feeling
tip.
that's what season 2 is going to be about.
Yeah, probably, but
Yeah,
they could have alluded to that fact that you know people are like you know there was people up in the cafeteria at the time and they saw the screen change and you know they could have done that, but they didn't anyway.
anywho, yeah.
Anywho,
So they go,
so
yeah. So
yeah,
in the shoot, it's quite dangerous because they're throwing stuff down there all the time.
yeah.
But
Um, we get a bit there where Billings is getting grilled by Sims, who's just fucking like
yeah,
useless at this
it's really
point.
starting to stand out now because
Yeah,
everybody else is obviously really good actors.
yeah, he's no good, is he?
And he's kind of new to it. You know,
But like,
give him a
yeah,
go. Give him a go. He might get better, but
yeah,
he's a bit wooden.
he is a bit
He'd
wooden.
do a better job than I'm doing. You know what I mean? But
But that's the thing. He's just kind of like he's just got no like foresight or anything. He just reacts, and he's just sort of
well,
like
I think
trying to
that's the
do
way
this.
he's been written. That's not his
Yeah,
fault.
no,
Yeah,
well, no, yeah, but
yeah.
he's just kind of like menacing, but like he's not. I don't know. He doesn't really come across as smart. He's just kind of like someone does something wrong, and he just sort of walks around talking slowly and menacingly, and like that's going to be enough. Like, I mean, it clearly doesn't work because nothing they've done has really worked.
No, he's
They
quite
just,
menacing. I'd be frightened of him, but
yeah,
at the same time, you just think, yeah, because he's obviously got a bit of a blind spot there.
mm,
Don't know what that is, but like it's the way he's been written. He's very. I mean, they tried to give him a family and stuff, but he's all about just shouting at people and running around. He's
yeah.
not. He's so they could probably do it better. I mean, maybe in the second series they'll sort of fill him out a bit, you know,
Oh,
give
they'll
him some.
probably turn him into a good guy or something, but
Yeah, oh yeah, probably.
maybe.
Why
But
not?
it's not,
You
yeah.
know.
But it's because like he said, he was having a giving Billings a good old grilling and stuff, and Billings was sort of kind of really not having it. He was just sort of
Mm,
like, yeah, whatever. I thought that would have been a good opportunity for Billings to sort of stand up to him and say, "This is all your fault, guys. You know, you've just like
mm.
ruined this at every
I think
turn."
he's realised that, but he
Yeah,
knows that he's not in the position really
yeah.
to.
And he spots him. He's got his shaking hand. He's got the syndrome. So it's
Yeah,
like you know, obviously he's going to use that to threaten him with. But like,
I think Billings has had enough now.
oh yeah, it's
You
totally yeah,
know, he's had enough. He's been punched in the face. You know, there's all this. It's just he's probably had plodded along. You know what I mean? Had a nice, quite cushy
yeah. It's all
judiciary thing where he, you know, wins competitions for knowing the pact really
yeah.
well,
But he's
and now
been
he's been
completely
thrown into it. You
yeah,
know,
and he's seen that he saw the picture book, didn't he? So he's like, you know,
yeah, he
his
knows.
views changed. He seems a little bit more, you know,
Yeah.
like he was quite calm in that grilling thing. You know, he was kind of
Well,
like, yeah,
he's such a good actor, the guy, because
yeah,
you could just like just from small things he does with his face, you know what he's talking about, even though he's not
yeah.
saying anything.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he's really
yeah.
good.
I
He's
mean,
a really good
this
actor.
thing, like, you really liked him from the start,
I
and I was
did, yeah.
towards him. But I think that is probably because I didn't really like his character. So it's a testament to his, yeah, to his
His
act
acting.
that
It
yeah,
just seems normal. He seems like himself. You know,
a little bit naive at the
yeah, a little,
beginning,
yeah,
you
of
know.
course, yeah, yeah. He's a bit of a geek, you know.
Yeah,
He's you know, he reads the Pact every day. You know, it's
yeah.
like his Bible,
I mean, yeah, exactly.
it just seems genuine. I
Yeah.
think is what I got from it,
So
and
he's had quite a good sort of like character arc over the series.
I
So yeah,
think so.
like
Yeah, he's been written really
yeah,
well.
he has
Yeah.
really I've really warmed up to him actually, and I hope
Mm.
like I mean, in the second series, I think he's going to play because I mean they basically said, which another thing I didn't understand is that he's going to replace Juliet,
Yeah.
right? And you kind of think, well, why would they do that after knowing that he's sort of been helping her and stuff? Why would they still give him the job? But obviously
Yeah.
they're just useless and think that they can control him. But if he's going to be the new sheriff, he's going to, and now he knows what's going on. He's just going to take over from Juliet
Of course he
carry on.
is. Yeah.
So that's
Or
exciting.
maybe they think they've got, because he's got the syndrome, maybe they think that's sufficient to bend someone's arm,
But in a way, it probably does the opposite because it's like he's got nothing to lose. It's like he's going to die.
His wife's not being all that either.
No, she was. Yeah, that's right. He goes and says, "Oh, they know I've got the syndrome." And she's like, "Are we going to have to move?"
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
Oh, fuck off.
Fuck off you. I've got this. Not only am I dying of this thing, but I'm being threatened, and you're worried about your bloody house.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a bit materialistic.
Yeah, we didn't like her before, but yeah. So
she was all right to begin with, and then last episode she was horrible to him. So I just thought, oh, fuck you. Then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So see, after that we go. We go back to the shoot because they've done their screen thing, and they're like, we need to go because they know they're being tracked. So they jump back in the shoot again, and the mayor figures it out.
Yeah.
So he gets another.
He's not that bright either, is he?
No, he's not actually, is he? He's fucking useless. But I mean,
it's not like in Aliens when they knew that all the aliens were going to come in. They had the blueprints out.
Yeah.
Just we'll do a thing there, we'll do a thing there. We'll have some sentries over here. We'll do that. We'll do this.
Yeah. Just post some guards at the hatches with and just as she comes down, just grab her.
Yeah, I mean, he must know the layout of the fucking silo.
Yeah, exactly.
What I mean?
So,
anyway, he's not that bright either.
They totally ruined themselves. That this whole situation is because of their mismanagement. I think anyway. But basically, so they get another cop because it's a woman. Pokes her head in the chute and says, "We've been ordered to throw shit at you." It's like, really? Would you do that if someone ordered you to do that?
She was when Marnes did the Marnes and Mayor Johns did that walk down, and they visited this lady's sheriff's office. So she's a nice sheriff. So that's why she's warning her to. Yeah, she's not judiciary, she's police, so...
but then they were still throwing, bits of metal at her.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
You maybe throw a few teddy bears or something, maybe a pillow.
An apple, donk. But that was kind of like, they were throwing toasters and stuff, and then it just got big, and all of a sudden, it was almost like a joke. It's like a fucking washing machine or something comes out, and where did they get that? Where did, because it was weird because they were like, we need stuff to throw down. So all of a sudden you see these people pushing these shopping carts full of shit to throw at people, like junk you pick up in Fallout 3 or something.
Yeah,
that was quite funny, I thought. But then Juliet's she sees the washing machine or microwave or whatever it is and just goes, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So she just, at that point actually, she just drops down. She just goes for, and she's going to land on the rubbish thing. That was lucky there wasn't a washing machine underneath her.
Yeah, broken spine.
So she landed on a few bags, and there was people there to kind of grab her out.
Yeah, that was lucky.
Yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense. But then also, what happened to the other two? At that point,
they got arrested. Yeah, it was.
They did. Sorry.
Yeah, they got arrested, but we didn't see the end of that.
That's true. So that was okay. So she makes it down to the bottom.
And then she wakes up she's at Walker's place.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, and there's loads of people there, so they all know, so everyone sort of down below knows that, she's fallen down the chute. But then straight away, they're like, we've got to hide her. But then that other guy who I think he was the head mechanic.
That's right. Yeah.
He's like, I've told them where they are. And some young woman sort of like,
Shirley.
Shirley. Is that her name?
Yeah.
She's like, why have
I
you
really
done
like
that?
her hair.
Yeah. It's interesting because she's kind of like, she seems like a good person, but she's very fucking aggro. But obviously he's like, I did it because they were just going to destroy the whole place.
Yeah,
And
they
you
would have
kind of,
done. He
yeah, and
did. He wasn't. Yeah,
you
I mean,
kind of
I
in the
get both
right, yeah.
sides. I think
Yeah,
Shirley's in a right because it's betrayal, but at the same time, he's kind of thinking of everyone.
he
Yeah,
kind of had,
so
yeah, he seems like quite a good guy.
yeah,
So making difficult decisions, probably make a better mayor.
yeah,
But
probably would. Yeah,
yeah, I kind of liked him in the other episodes actually because he was sort of like he was pretty, he was in charge and he was like making difficult things. But anyway, so and Juliet says he did the right thing. You know,
yeah. He did. He didn't have a
you know,
choice really.
no, exactly, and
No.
also the fact that they had to come down there to get her. And knowing that she was surrounded by other people, it's like they couldn't have just like sort of bumped her off on the sly, So it was a way it had to be public.
Yeah,
So
it was all official.
it's probably
Yeah.
saved her life by doing that.
She has a
So
chat with Walker, doesn't she, just before she gets
she
arrested?
does, yeah. What did they talk about?
Well, I think it was about the tape.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the tape. This is the whole thing of how it all started, wasn't it? At the beginning, I don't think we saw that, but yeah, she's stealing some tape. But like she's basically, um, telling her that yeah, this is, it's just going to happen, pretty much. So obviously Walker at this point is like she wants to do something, but she's obviously agoraphobic, if that's the correct word for what it is. So she just
Yeah.
never leaves her flat. But basically, I think does she like phone a friend or something? It's like
She
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 communicates
kind of
with
just
someone.
I think she just left the apartment to see if she could because
Yeah,
she wanted to help Juliet. And she walked up to her mate's place that she hadn't seen in 25
yeah,
years. And her mate works in supplies and they have a chat
yeah,
about the tape.
yeah. And
Yeah.
she says, and her mate says, yeah, the tape they use up there is yours is way better. And she's like, yeah, that doesn't make sense unless it does.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, yeah, I mean, right from the start of the show, we knew, you and I knew that the tape was very important, um, so we'll come to that in a bit. So at this point as well, they come down and it's all rather peaceful. Sims is losing his shit again, just like fucking, like it's embarrassing at this point. Do you know what I mean? Even the mayor's just like, just stand outside, man. Do you know what I mean? So they basically put her in handcuffs and they're going to walk her back upstairs. It's all rather slow and public. The mayor is
Yeah.
there. The mayor is there. Two Robbins came down as well. So they're making a show of it,
Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of. And then they take her upstairs and they take her to the control room. Why?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I thought
God
that
knows.
was weird.
So they show her the
Why
video of
would you?
George. Yeah,
She's
I
gonna
know. Yeah,
die.
it didn't make sense. I mean, they show her the George Wilkins death thing.
Yeah.
So like there's security camera footage. He's sitting on the thing and then jumps off himself. I didn't really understand the significance of that. I
Maybe
mean,
they were just trying to say that it was a suicide rather than murder, but I mean they were going to kill him anyway, so
well, yeah,
there's
exactly.
no biggie. And yeah, I mean obviously she knows that now that he loves her and stuff, so I suppose it's
Yeah,
worth pointing out. But the way they did it, they don't have to go to the control room to show her. They could have showed her on whatever computer
yeah.
anywhere.
I had no idea why they did
Mm.
that. Again, they're just fucking useless, judicial, aren't they? So, and then we see she's basically in the prison cell, which we've seen.
Yeah, she's getting
Holston and
fitted
his
for
wife. Yeah,
a suit.
getting fitted up for a suit, and she's kind of accepted all this now, sort of.
Yeah. I
Dad
mean,
comes
this
to
is the
visit.
thing that I came across in the book, the fitting for the suit, because like years ago, if you were having a funeral people used to come round and fit you for a coffin.
Oh right, yeah, that's true.
So that was like a
A
thing that
nod
sort
to
of,
that, yeah.
but I doubt if that would only our generation or maybe, you know what I mean, previous to
Yeah.
that
I didn't
would
even think about that, but that makes sense because I was like, why are they making such a big deal about it? But it's almost like a ritual
yeah, it's all
sort of thing. Yeah,
ritualistic. Yeah.
that makes sense actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
and if like if the there was like a joke years ago that if the funeral director came round to your house and started like getting his measuring tape out and fitting you up, you knew that you were going to die, sort of thing.
yeah, I'd be like, what
Yeah,
the fuck do you think you're doing? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
Sorry, but
yeah,
that was the significance for me anyway.
yeah, I didn't really. That makes sense actually. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking at
I
the
mean, why
time.
put it in?
Yeah, I mean, I was
Uh,
thinking at the time, surely like they're not going to literally go to all that effort and make a suit just to fit her when you can just stick her in any old suit. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, what
A
one?
a bigger suit and a small suit, pretty much. You
Yeah,
know?
small, medium, large. That's what
Yeah,
we do, isn't it?
exactly. Do you know what I mean? I'm making her a fitted suit. It's
Yeah.
fucking a bit pointless, but like, God knows. But they do that.
Juliet's dad turns up.
Juliet's dad
Nice.
turns up, and that was quite nice.
Yeah,
He has a
he's a
couple of
really
good
good
moments.
actor. I like him. I
I
like
always
him.
like Ian Glenn. I mean, it's weird because he has a quite a good. He has a couple of good moments in this. I mean, this
He's
one
got
where he,
such a good face.
yeah, he's this sort of kind guy. I mean, he's good in Game of Thrones, wasn't he?
Oh, he's fantastic in that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he was sort of like besotted with, Khaleesi sort of thing, but he was just really sort of, sacrificed
that is
himself.
super
So,
honourable. Super
yeah,
honourable.
he was really
Yeah,
good. But like, so he was kind of cool. He brought like a meal up for her, a cauldron of soup, which is a weird thing to bring up the stairs. But that was kind of nice,
they
and
might not have plastic things to.
yeah, I don't know, a thermos or something. I don't know,
Yeah,
but like, so that was kind of nice. And she's like, I'm sorry, and wish, and he's like, he says we should have had this conversation years ago and stuff. So that was kind of sweet.
yeah.
Um, and then he says, why did you say you wanted to go out? And she
Mm.
goes, oh, I didn't. And then she looks at the camera and goes, it doesn't matter, kind of,
Yeah, you're not going to get your dad in trouble, are
So,
you?
so that, yeah, that was a bit like, oh shit, he actually thinks that she wanted to go out. That was what I thought. So I hope he sort of,
Yeah.
because she only said that kind of briefly. I didn't, but
I reckon he'll have a chat with Martha at some point.
yeah,
And yeah, yeah. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
he's
Of
going
course
to
he
be
will.
all these people like who are sort of done shit in the past and have problems with judiciary. They're all going to be part of the story going forward. Like once they know that they're just being fucking executed effectively, these people. Um, then we see poor old Lucas.
Oh
Fucking
no,
hell.
he's been right fucked over.
Yeah. He's like, well, we're not going to send you out clean. He's like, well, that's good. So we're going to send you down to the mines for 10 years.
Iron ore. There's
Iron
so
ore.
many problems with putting that in
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a concept. I
Yeah.
mean, iron ore, like first off, mining, you get gas
Mm,
pockets down there. They'll be
yeah.
exploding all over the place because you're chipping at stuff that will cause sparks that sets off the gas.
Yeah.
That's why we have canaries in cages and stuff. Of course, we don't do it now, but
Yeah.
there's got to be some kind of vent to get out the air. It has to be circulated.
Yeah. Plus, you
There's,
wouldn't mine like next to a structure.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that you could
Well,
potentially,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I mean,
so there's like the
subsiding, the whole silo and shit, like,
yeah.
I
How
don't
big
know.
is the fucking deposit? I mean, if
Yeah.
they've been mining for 130 years, that shit's going to be mined out.
They should have
Then
showed us that, yeah, because,
there's diseases, lung diseases.
yeah.
There's um,
But it's
you,
obviously they're using it as like a penal colony,
yeah,
sort of
but
like
they
a
don't have to
prison.
do that. They can just send him outside. So what's the
Yeah,
point?
I don't know. So like,
And
how do they
also,
enforce that? Yeah,
why
so
would
that.
they need iron?
Mm,
Why would they need iron? Everything's built. You only use it for structures and tools and things like that. They've got
yeah,
tools. They don't. Well, I mean, to sort of to open a mine to mine
yeah.
iron ore.
They should have explained that because it really doesn't make sense. Because it's like,
No. What was
um,
the other thing? Oh yeah, what are they shoring up the mine with? They haven't got any trees. They haven't got
yeah,
wood to shore up the mine. It doesn't make any fucking
no,
sense.
it doesn't unless the mine was sort of part of the original design.
Yeah, but as you
But
go, you're going to be opening up,
absolutely, yeah,
to follow the seam.
yeah.
You're going to need to shore that up with something.
I see.
Are you just
Yeah,
going to make an iron bar to shore up the ceiling so you can
yeah.
iron? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make any fucking
No,
sense.
it really doesn't. They really should have like addressed that. and especially if they're
There's no need
sending
to
people,
put it in. There's
yeah, no.
no need to put it in.
So if they've put people down there, just if they've put that in, I just can't recall if it's in the main story, the book. I don't think it is. At
It's
least
not
I
in the book.
no.
It's not in the book. I
So
think
basically,
their generator was atomic. They
yeah,
didn't.
that's what I thought. Yeah, like,
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
so they've put that in to sort of like give an excuse. So you've got kind of like a prison almost, like, where you
yeah.
put in crib. But then again, like you say, they don't really have that much crime.
Well, they don't have much crime, and they just send people out to clean if they do
Yeah,
crime. So,
and
or
that's the
apparently
thing.
ignore it for some people because
Yeah,
that's what they've been
yeah.
doing in the series. But
And also, like, I mean, how would you police that? Is there like a fucking, a gate with guards? Is it, it just doesn't make sense.
yeah, I mean, you're going to give
Um,
them tools, a bunch of like, and by the give them a couple of weeks, they'll be quite fit,
yeah,
banging against the wall. Do you know what I mean?
I think, yeah, I mean, again, that's like, I mean, I think this is maybe setting something up for season 2, because I
Yeah,
remember in the book we do look at rebellion, and a lot of it starts down deep.
yeah.
The people in down deep, because they're a little bit off the
Well,
grid.
obviously, Lucas probably has a part to play.
Yeah, because
In
I mean, again, this is like a fucking mistake
excuse me.
by the mayor, because like he's obviously smart, but I mean, kind of naive. He didn't really know what he was looking at when he was looking at those screens.
No,
But
he's
like,
just interested. He was
yeah,
figuring it out. Yeah.
exactly. But now they're going to send someone who knows that there's something fucking going on, and they're going to send him down to the mine with a load of other fucking pissed off people. That's just,
Probably Kennedy and the other
yeah.
IT guy, maybe.
They're just going to start. And maybe that's how they're going to sort of kick off the rebellion down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got 10 years to fucking get pissed off.
Yeah, I won't take that long.
No, it won't take that long. Definitely not. So that was kind of.
I mean, they've got weapons, they've got
Well,
tools, they've got pixaxes. Do you know what I mean?
it doesn't explain how many people are down there or anything. It's
No.
like if the population has to be controlled so much, like, because of food rationing and stuff like that, it would just throw off everything. Throw in like a couple hundred people in the.
It doesn't make sense to
It
be
doesn't make
iron ore.
sense.
If it was coal, I'd get it because then they would use it for the generator. But like in
Yeah,
the book, I'm pretty sure it's atomic, so
it
they wouldn't
is.
need that.
It just runs. It'll last for hundreds of years.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of. I mean, I can see why they've done it, but like, it doesn't make sense. And
They didn't have to do it. They didn't have
No,
to
they
put it in
didn't have
at all. They've got a penal system. If you fuck up, you die. It's pretty
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Mm,
So we then get Mayor fucking Tim Robbins, kind of getting sick of looking at his face now. But like
yeah.
he goes to speak to Juliet and has a fucking chat, and she's basically at this point totally accepted. I mean, she doesn't do a lot in this episode, to be fair.
No.
Or the last one. I mean, she's just kind of accepted this is her fate.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like, not defiant really, because she sort of accepted it. But like they have a chat, and
She's just like, why don't you tell people?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, because she thinks the outside is all green. We should let people know, but then she mentions people need to know, like, what about the 15-foot door?
Yeah, that was totally inserted.
Yeah,
Why? Why would you say that?
Yeah, because his reaction is like what door? Like, I
Yeah,
forgot.
but like he didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know. So why did she tell him that? Or he's like, shit, she knows even more than I thought. I don't know. We don't know. I thought his reaction was obviously like quite shocked. But then we also see the mayor in his office, and because he smashes the hard drive. That's the thing we didn't say. When he was down to see Walker, he smashes the hard drive.
Yeah, there was no need for that either.
No. But then we see him up in his office, and he's got the damaged. He's got the damaged disc. He kept it, and then he's got part of the damaged disc in there, and only part of it is smashed. And then you're like, well, why is he? I mean, is he himself?
Have they got the right? So there's a problem with that. If he's going to use that disc again, can they make circuit boards? Can they make a hermetically sealed thing for the disc again to get it working?
Maybe.
Is there any other way of extracting data off that disc?
I don't know. Maybe they could do something. It's possible, but I think it's more interesting the fact he kept it.
Yeah.
Like, is there stuff on there that even he doesn't know? Maybe are they going to try and make him like a
Yeah, I'd imagine
side
so.
character, almost like maybe he wants to know what's on there. I don't, because I don't. It doesn't really. It doesn't really tell us what he knows. That's another thing. We don't really know what he knows fully. We know
No.
he knows more than everyone else, but like we still don't know the extent of what he knows, and there's still more to come, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
So I
but I
think
thought that
he's,
was
yeah,
interesting.
maybe that, yeah, I get your point. He's sort of like, he's a bit in the dark himself. He hasn't got everything at his
Yeah,
fingertips.
I think I
I
don't.
think,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was the. That makes sense.
yeah,
That makes sense why he would keep it. Like, he's like curious himself as
yeah,
to
maybe
what's
he
on
didn't
it.
know about the door.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's it. Which is good. I thought,
Mm.
maybe that would
Yeah, that's
be.
interesting.
So then she goes out to clean.
Yeah.
Another thing I saw was like Walker goes up to the cafe, and
Yeah.
as she walks in the room, the whole room is like moving, looking at her and moving away. And I'm like, well, how do they know the fuck she is? Why are they treating her like this? Because she's been living in her fucking room in basement for
That's
25
true.
years. How does
Yeah.
everyone know? Because they're all like, oh, it's Walker. It's Walker, everybody. It's Walker. She's walking. Fucking ridiculous. But like,
Dramatic effect chicken, that's
yeah,
what
do you
they
know what I
do.
mean? But like,
Yeah.
literally, they're all like, ooh. But like, how the fuck do they know they are? So, yeah, she gets suited up, put the old tape around her wrists and what have you, send her out, and she goes out, and it's all lovely and beautiful and green, and there's flowers and shit.
Yeah,
And
birds,
then
butterflies.
she sees the birds, but then she's like,
Hang on a minute.
they're the same birds
Yeah.
in the same formation, coming from the same direction, come over the tree in exactly the same way as
Yeah.
the video. So she realizes something is. It's not just the display,
And then she falls
you know.
over a non-existent rock,
Yeah,
which the display
yeah,
doesn't show her.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's all, and I remember that from the book that it was, you have this sort of twist where, it's a visor, the visor display is being altered,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
And that's how they get you to clean, isn't it?
yeah, because you think, oh right, everyone needs to see. So I don't know, but but then Tim Robbins again just fucking fluffs everything because she's got
Speaking out loud in front of
yeah
a massive crowd,
yeah
she knows.
yeah fucking idiot. And yeah, they're all just like, oh, she'll be dead in a minute. Yeah, like they're
Yeah.
fucking surrounded by people. They're fucking useless. But like obviously she's got the super heat tape. They've had the heat tape switched out. So the other stuff in the book, it explains it more that this heat tape was designed to degrade
Yeah.
and to release to let air into the suit. There is as we see, the world outside is actually fucked.
Yeah.
It is actually fucked, and
Yeah, nuclear
uh,
wasteland.
nuclear wasteland. I think there's more to it, isn't there? Which hopefully we'll see, because that's the most exciting part, I thought, of the whole series, when you find out what really happened.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not just a nuclear blast sort of thing, not just a nuclear war.
And it looked like, I mean, apart from like there's loads and loads of silos as
Yeah,
well. There's like a city in
there
the
was a city in the distance. Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So I mean, that was what we were sort of getting at for the whole of the series. I mean, that's what that 18 is on the key ring and 18 on a thing. They're in silo number 18.
Yeah.
There's about 25 of them, as I recall, something like that. There's like loads of them all in the same.
And
I think in the
space.
book they're sort of in a circle, aren't they? And there's like a central one.
I
Or something.
think there is. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in
Yeah.
here they were just sort of all stuck together.
Dotted
But,
around.
the whole
Yeah.
point was that there's fucking loads of them.
Yeah.
So they're all watching, and she's like, she falls over, and they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And her dad is like, a bit sad, and and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, she sees something with the rock. She leaves her badge there. Don't know why. Didn't really understand.
Well, it's just for Holston, isn't it? Because she tried
Oh,
to.
I'm so stupid. Yeah.
Yes, you are. No, yeah, I got that straight away. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
so
his
smart
badge. The truth, yeah.
Yeah, it's his badge.
Symbolic.
it's a shame that people couldn't really see that. It's a shame that they couldn't really see that on the screen. Like you can't, they wouldn't see the detail
from the distance. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to see.
But then she gets up again, and there's a great moment. Her dad is just sort of like half crying.
Yeah,
and he's like really proud but really sad. I thought that was great.
Bit of hope, maybe she'll make it. Yeah.
He's like really, really proud of her. Actually, just before that, she actually
he's such a good actor. His little face, I love it.
He was a good choice. I thought he was a bit sort of like underutilized in the beginning.
I think everybody is, but they've
I don't know how tricky. Perfect, but.
No, but they've got such good people in it. I hope to see them all again in the next season.
I do. I mean, it's definitely got a second series. I mean, there's writer's strike going on, so God knows when that will happen. But, it's definitely happening. But actually, just before she walks off, we see her come to the camera, don't we? And she pulls out the wire wool, which was what the series was named after. Wool. I didn't know that at the time. I read that in that's why.
Well, no, he said it was about pulling the wool over your eyes as well, but that's so symbolic, isn't it? Yeah.
Bit of a Brillo pad. And she's like just about to clean the thing, and then she just like mic drop.
Yeah.
Ain't fucking doing it.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
At that point, I would have sort of gone like, You would have done, wouldn't you?
I would have written on there, lie.
Yeah,
backwards.
I thought about that as well.
Yeah, in the dust.
Or what would have been really good is she just fucking
cover
it up with mud.
Yeah,
cover the whole lot up with mud just to fuck people over.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been funny, yeah. But yeah, so then she walks off. She sees what's going on, and they're all watching, and then she just sort of like walks off. Again, I probably would have gone over there, or something like that. You know,
I'm fine.
Wow. But like it, but like I think
do a bit of miming.
Yeah, exactly. Walk over there. But like, doing that whole sort of thing, like that, or a cartwheel.
Yeah. Yeah, but because now she noticed the inadvisor thing is incorrect as well.
Yes, he turns off the server
That's
thing,
right,
doesn't he?
yeah.
So to show her. I mean, I don't know why he did that again. It's fucking like, why is he doing all this shit? Just making things worse. I mean, obviously for our purpose, but
yeah.
But yeah, so she's got no choice, so she wanders off. Obviously that's how the second series is going to be her, and this is how the book starts. She wanders off and just checks out another silo, man.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. And so obviously everyone's watching. The whole silo has seen this. They've seen that she didn't die. She wandered off under her own steam. So that's just more, the end is coming, like the new rebellion is coming.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like, why they had, I seem to remember this from the book, because we're, throughout the whole series, we're told that the display is a lie. We're inside, it's a lie, but it's actually not. It's actually barren wasteland out there.
Yeah, well, they couldn't put the other screen up because everybody'd want to go outside, wouldn't they?
I think, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I mean, that's I think that was the reason for the first rebellion sort of thing. Is like people were like, we want to go out. I think they put that up there to say, we'll be able to go out soon or something, but it just had the wrong effect. So they were like, in order to stop people from going out, they I don't know. I think it was like making it green was to sort of give people hope, but it just had the wrong effect.
Yeah,
like it just wanted people to go out because they
would just want to be outside. Yeah.
And obviously some people just wanted to control things. It's weird because you kind of I remember in the book you're kind of like, who's the good guys and the bad guys here? It's like they want to keep you inside the silo, bad, but like if you go outside, we'll probably all die. I mean, so you can kind of see.
There's a reason for
why they're happening. I mean, the reason that they're in this situation in the first place is completely fucking bonkers. That will hopefully come up in season 2.
Yeah.
But I think that's how it ends. But like, I thought he covered a lot of stuff. I
Mm.
thought it was probably the best episode.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
yeah.
my favourite episode out of the whole thing. There's probably a couple of episodes they could have dropped maybe in earlier. There was a lot of, again, Juliet didn't do much
No,
in this one, but
she's kind of like, she reminds me of uh, she's like, there's a protagonist in Dragon Quest, and he never says anything. He doesn't.
yeah,
That's his thing, and he just
he
sort of
doesn't
goes
say much.
along
Yeah,
with the. I mean, he has facial expressions, and he
yeah,
does the right things, and and he wants to do good, and that's about all you know about him because he never speaks, and that's kind of
yeah.
that what reminds me of her.
I think like in the second series, I mean, all her skills and that, she's an engineer, she's a mechanic. You sort of kind of come into the fore more because obviously she's just going to go to the next silo and see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, yeah,
Are there people in there? We know what's going to happen, but so all her engineering skills sort of come into effect there, and
yeah,
I mean, there's so much more to the story.
yeah.
You
They've barely touched it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
barely
yeah,
scratched the surface.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, well, what one I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping like the
hmm,
second series maybe shows a bit of rebellion in Silo 18,
yeah,
shows Juliet, obviously exploring and finding out what the F is
yeah,
going on.
yeah, and eventually, I mean, depends how many series they get. Like why it all happened in the first place. Because
Yeah,
that doesn't
yeah,
get explained till quite later on. But once you realise, it's like, fuck, this is fucking a lot worse than we thought.
yeah,
Um, but so yeah, that's the end for now. What are
yeah.
your feelings on the whole thing?
I think it's really well done. I
I
really
think,
like everybody in it. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
and like the set design's perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, it totally takes you there. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. Yeah, I'm looking
I,
forward
I,
to the
I
next
did.
one. And
I did. I think there
found
was
go on, sorry.
no. I was just going to say, there were sort of like problems. There were a few kind of filler episodes.
Yeah,
There was a lot of, there are some inconsistencies, like the whole mind thing. We can go on about that forever.
the dialogue's a
Um,
bit dodgy. I mean,
yeah,
when in this one particularly, I mean, I don't think Sims has had a lot to do other than getting
no,
angry and but
yeah,
when Martha went to see her mate in supplies, her mate said, "Oh, and the leader of IT, the one who became mayor, that's not a natural way to talk.
no,
You just go to the head of IT or something. You wouldn't have to
yeah.
explain."
They know who they're talking about. They just use his name, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
If
exactly,
they talk
Bernard.
about
Yeah.
them friends, yeah,
So yeah, so that was a bit unnatural. I noticed a few things, but
yeah,
really, overall, really good. I thought.
really good. And I
Yeah.
kind of like it's weird because like now it's all finished, and now we know sort of what's going to happen next. Well, we don't know what's going to happen next, but like we kind of know the first steps as to what's happening next.
Mm.
Because like the last few episodes, I was like, Juliet hasn't really done a lot. She hasn't said a lot, but my sort of thinking, and I was kind of like, is she just been badly written a little bit, But like, I think my thoughts on this have changed because
Yeah.
like I think it's really cool actually that they've made her. She's the main character, and she is kind of a bit introverted.
Well, I mean, in
She's
the
not like
book, I mean, she's got literally no one to talk to about it, so she
yeah.
can't express her thoughts, through dialogue because.
Yeah, she's not very good at it, which I thought it's interesting to have a character like that rather than I mean they could have gone so awful with her and had her just amazingly tough and beating up men all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And it would have been boring. But
Mm.
I think the fact that she's she's very much out of her depth, but she's obviously has like great
Yeah,
capabilities.
she's resourceful.
But
Yeah.
she's completely I mean, she's been fucked over like every turn.
Yeah.
I can't, but I think she makes for a much more interesting character rather than like she's not sort of like a natural leader, really. I mean, she
Mm.
takes charge in some situations, but she's also a bit like she doesn't fucking listen either. Like when she was down in mechanical, even though she saved the day,
She's not easily
with
swayed. She's got a mind
no,
of her
yeah,
own.
she
Yeah.
kind of goes off on her own and puts people in danger and stuff. I
Mm.
mean, she fucking didn't take Billings into, so she's not perfect. And I felt that was great, but you still root for her because, like, essentially she's on the side of right.
Yeah.
She's trying to figure out what's going on. She's been totally fucked over unnecessarily by George, even though George is kind of,
Yeah.
like he's
If
kind of,
she'd never met him, none of this had happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So he fucked her over and he kind of intentionally, but then he fell in love with her. So, I mean, again, it was all rather nuanced, it was like no
Yeah.
one was, apart from Sims and the mayor, no one is really sort of, good or bad. They're
Yeah. I
both
mean,
all flawed, which I thought was
Robbins
great.
hasn't had much to do either. He's saying ridiculous things too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's just,
like a bit of
yeah,
exposition or whatever. But it's just, and like in this one, he said to Sims that maybe you could be my shadow. Big fucking whoop.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, that was weird as well. It's
yeah.
like he's,
It's
I
just
don't know.
stringing him along. He's like his terrier, isn't he? He's like a
Yeah,
calling a dog to heel sort of thing, promising a bone.
yeah.
You
They
know,
kind of remind me of like prefects at school,
prefects.
like
Oh yeah, yeah, like
they,
totally. I
the
know what you're
power's
talking
gone to
about.
their head, but they're actually very, very incompetent.
Yeah,
And like they just every time, they try and get what they've done by force, but like they
yeah,
just
head boy and the prefect.
they never,
Yeah, that's exactly like what
yeah,
they are.
yeah, exactly. They never own up to
No, I'm
their
not going to give you a toilet pass.
yeah, exactly. They never own up to their mistakes,
Yeah.
and they have just made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake.
Mm.
Like the whole thing could have just been ended. They could have just bumped her off straight away, and
Why did they kill the mayor?
I don't know. Like again, it was just totally heavy-handed. I mean, there's still some, ambiguity. Well, I mean, not from this version of the show, but from the, from what's going on in the story. Is he really the top guy?
Yeah,
And I mean,
right.
there is more to it,
Yeah,
obviously. But like, how much is he making all the decisions? But then, yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully we'll see more of that. But
yeah. There is
you
a
know,
lot more to say.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
if we see him now, like being curious about information he hasn't been told, because he thinks he knows everything, but if it was alluded to in this one that he doesn't know everything, so he's going to go
Yeah.
through that right by
Yeah, the
himself.
door.
So that
Yeah.
would make him more interesting because he's still got to run the place, but now he's,
He's in the dark a
it's
little
in,
bit. Yeah,
and
why
I
haven't
think,
they told me about that?
yeah,
Yeah.
what else aren't they telling me, or
Mm.
whoever they are, we know who they
Yeah, that
are.
was well
Well,
spotted, chicken. Yeah.
so I mean, but if they use that as to make his character more interesting and more involved in the plot, I mean, you can just see how all these elements combined, the whole place could just go to shit like overnight, which is obviously the whole point of them trying to keep people calm.
Mm.
Like it just wouldn't take much for them to fucking go to the top and smash that door open. They could do
Well,
it.
like I
There's a
said,
fucking
I
button.
mean,
There's
it's a
literally a
numbers
button you
game.
press.
The
Yeah,
police and that and the raiders. There's not
yeah,
that many of them.
exactly.
There's 10,000 people down there. Say, you know, liberally estimating, 2,000 cops. I doubt they haven't even have that. They're
Yeah, it
overwhelmed.
doesn't explain, does it? It
They're
only seems
overwhelmed,
like,
and plus people know them as well. So you're not going to
yeah,
want to. If you've known an old lady down the road and she's coming at you with an axe now because she wants to go out the silo, you're not going to fuck her up. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
She's, Aunt May who gives you lemon
yeah,
sherbet or some shit. I don't know, but you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
I think that again, like everything they've done has just been is like a total mistake, and the people around them,
I'm watching
the
it
regular
all.
people are seeing it all. Like that old woman who was sort of like the one who had the book at some point, and then she was basically forced to go into hospital and put on medication that makes her
Oh
just start
yeah,
hallucinating stuff.
Gloria. Yeah,
Like people wouldn't be happy about that. She was completely harmless. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
and
like,
people would, because she was part of a service as well. She was
mm,
given antenatal. She was given sort of like pregnancy advice and stuff, and she could get
yeah,
people folic acid and things, which is really quite important.
yeah,
So people would be going, "Oh yeah, I used to go to Gloria," and I'd be like, "Where the fuck's Gloria?" And then
yeah,
so you would find out.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
still didn't find out much about the syndrome, and I can't remember that from the book. It's been such a long time.
I've got a feeling it's
Um,
something to do with radiation. I'm not sure though.
Yeah,
Like I say, it's been a couple of years since I've read it, and it wasn't really a major part. It was just sort
yeah.
of mentioned in passing.
Yeah, I can't quite remember. I mean, it could just be nutritional deficiency or something. Then everyone would have it, wouldn't they? Or just natural diseases that they don't have. Or even mutations that they didn't have a stockpile of drugs to fit that weren't foreseen.
Yeah.
There's obviously going to be those sorts of problems. So that was some, I don't know. It didn't really need to be in the whole story. To be fair,
No.
it just kind of it was an
It's not really an
explanation.
important part of the
No, no,
no.
I
It's
don't
just
think so.
another thing. Yeah.
So I suppose it's just, in a way, it's just sort of creating this sense of claustrophobia, trying to, although it doesn't seem very claustrophobic, because it's all they know, sort of thing. But yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was really, really good, and
Mm.
like it, I think this episode was really sort of great, because it's it has just made me think, Christ, there's all these different characters and things that have happened, which at the time I was like, no, really? But like now it's like there's all this potential to go forward. If they go for, that's if we've understood it correctly, unless this is just an accident. But like, I think there's a great sort of potential for an even better second season.
Oh yeah.
I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
I
We've
thought it
got
was great.
Foundation next, haven't we?
Holy shit. Yeah, that's coming out this month. Yeah,
July,
it's
yeah.
coming
Yeah.
out very, very soon.
Yeah.
So, right, we're going to do Foundation, yeah?
Mm.
Now, I don't know if that's going to come up episode by episode or if it's coming out like in a chunk.
I
I
think
don't
they
know.
normally put out 2, don't they? And then it's episode by
Oh,
episode.
right. I hope so,
I
actually.
think so, yeah.
It's kind of weird, like because it used to be that way, episode by episode for everything, because we're old. And then we had, Netflix, and you can binge the whole series. And I like binging a whole series
Yeah.
sometimes, I just watched Ted Lasso and I binged season 1, 2 of that, and it's fucking brilliant. But like, it's actually kind of cool going back to episode by episode, because like you're a bit excited to see what's happening. It makes it a bit more.
Yeah, you've got an appointment to do something at
Yeah,
a
and you can
certain
maybe
time.
devote
Yeah.
a bit more of your time to it as well. Because when you're binging it, you don't, you sit there watch 10 hours worth of stuff over a couple of, 2 or 3 days, and you just sort of like you don't take it all in.
No.
I don't know, but all right then. So right on. So yeah, we'll just see you next time when we'll do
See you
something
next
else.
time.
Right on. Like and subscribe if you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, do that.
You don't have to.
No,
It's
don't
like
have
you really
to.
don't have to. I mean, it'd be nice, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really benefit either way.
No.
But it's just polite.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right then. Well, see you next time, whenever that is.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.